You call this a celebration. My friends are traveling somewhere better. Hey viewers, real quick, if family drama is your thing, smash subscribe. Now back to the story. That's what she said. Not asked, not wondered, stated it like it was fact. Like I'd handed her a participation trophy and called it a vacation. I looked down at the itinerary in my hand. Paper. Real. Taped at the corner where I'd fixed it after the printer jammed the third time. Highlighter marks on the hot tub reservation, the dinner booking for New Year's Eve, the snowshoeing tour I'd called in to confirm twice. Months of planning. Dozens of tabs open late at night. Coordinating with the rental company about firewood and check-in times. Measuring trail difficulty so we wouldn't get stranded. Even picking a cabin with strong Wi-Fi because she hates being offline, and she glanced at it. Glanced, like it was a grocery list. Fair enough, that's what I said. Fair enough. Not angry, not defensive, just quiet. Like the air got sucked out of the room and didn't come back. I didn't argue, didn't raise my voice. Just folded the paper, set it on the counter, and walked away. That night she noticed the suitcase by the door, but not the ring on top of it. I'm 31. Engaged for almost a year. Thought I'd spend the rest of my life with her. We met 3 years ago at a mutual friend's party. She was wearing red wine in a plastic cup and laughing at a joke I didn't hear. I remember thinking that's the kind of laugh you want to come home to. We clicked, fast, moved in together 6 months later. No drama, no red flags, at least none I saw. She works in digital marketing, I'm in software development. We make decent money, not rich, not struggling, comfortable, enough to save, enough to plan. The New Year's trip started in September. I wanted it to be special, not flashy, not Instagram bait, just us. Quiet, intentional, cabin in the mountains. Wood-burning stove, hot tub under the stars. Hiking trails that don't require a crowd permit. A small restaurant with a fixed menu and candlelight. I even pre-ordered champagne. Non-vintage but good. The kind that doesn't burn your throat. I asked her about it back in September, showed her photos, gave her options. She said it looked nice, said, let's do it. No hesitation. No maybe we can upgrade later. Just green light, so I booked it, all of it. December 30th, I printed the final itinerary. Laid it out on the breakfast table, coffee steaming, sun coming through the blinds. I pointed out the highlights. Look, dinner's at 7. They're doing a 5-course tasting menu, and the hot tub's reserved from 9 to 11. I made sure. She didn't touch the paper, just scrolled through her phone. Her friend's post, private jet to Bali. Another at a rooftop bar in Dubai. Champagne flutes clinking, fireworks in the background. Then she looked at my itinerary and scoffed, actually scoffed. You call this a celebration? My friends are traveling somewhere better. Silence, I stared at the paper, at my handwriting in the margin, her favorite wine available by the glass. This is what we're doing, I said. Yeah. You said you liked it back in September. I thought you'd upgrade or something. My friends are going to a resort with a full spa. We talked about budget. This is what we agreed on. She leaned back. You call this a celebration? My friends are traveling somewhere better. This looks like something my parents would plan. My stomach dropped, not because of the trip, but because of the tone, like I'd failed a test I didn't know we were taking. I looked at the itinerary again, every detail picked with her in mind. The quiet, the comfort, the lack of crowds, the way she hates loud places. The way she said last winter, I wish we could just disappear for New Year's. And now it was embarrassing, because it wasn't impressive, because she couldn't post about it. Because it didn't scream, look at me. I folded the paper, smoothed the crease. Fair enough. That's all you have to say. What do you want me to say? If you don't like it, we can cancel. I'm not saying cancel. You're saying it's not good enough. What did you expect? Something more, something impressive, something you could post about. She froze. That last sentence hit different, not something she'd enjoy, not something we'd share, something for the feed. I closed my laptop, went to my office, shut the door, sat at my desk, looked at the itinerary again, then opened my email. One change, quick message to the rental company, update reservation. 1 guest instead of 2. Another to the restaurant, cancel the second seat. Third email, cancel the champagne order. Done. That evening, she walked into my office. Have you thought about upgrading the trip? I didn't look up. I made some changes. Really? Where are we going instead? I changed the reservation to one person. Silence. Then she laughed. You're joking. Nope. I spent months planning something you just called embarrassing, so I'm going alone. You can't be serious. I'm serious. You're being petty. I'm being practical. You don't want to go, I do. Problem solved. I do want to go. You said it's not impressive. Said your friends are doing better. Said it's something your parents would plan, which, by the way, your parents are great people, so I'm not sure that's the insult you think it is. I was just being honest. So am I. I'm going alone. She stared at me, then turned and left. I heard her on the phone 5 minutes later, voice high. He's being so dramatic, can you believe this? Over a trip. She didn't mention the scoff, didn't mention calling it embarrassing, didn't mention the friend's posts she kept comparing us to. I packed that night. One suitcase, 3 days worth of clothes, toiletries, my book, my noise-canceling headphones, left it by the door, put my engagement ring on top. Not in a box, not wrapped, just sitting there, silver band, simple like the trip, went to bed. Update 1, December 31st, 7:00 a.m. I was in the kitchen making coffee when I heard her. What's this? I turned, she was holding the ring. My ring, why is it on your suitcase? Because I'm not wearing it right now. What does that mean? It means I'm questioning things. The trip was a symptom. I've been noticing other things. This is just when it clicked. What other things? You comparing us to your friends constantly. You being embarrassed of what I can provide. You prioritizing social media over actual experiences. It's been building. So you're ending our engagement over a comment about a trip. Not ending it, pausing it. Taking time to think about whether this is what I want. This is insane. People make comments, it doesn't mean anything. It meant something to me. I spent 3 months planning something I thought you'd love. You called it embarrassing in less than 5 seconds. I didn't call it embarrassing. You compared it to your friend's better plans, said it's not impressive, said it's what your parents would do. How is that not embarrassing me? She set the ring on the counter. Fine, go on your trip alone. I'll spend New Year's with people who actually want me around. Sounds good. I left an hour later. She was in the bedroom, door closed, phone pressed to her ear, probably telling another friend how crazy I was. I didn't say goodbye. Grabbed the suitcase, walked out, got in the car, drove to the mountains. 3 hours, quiet highways, light traffic, snow dusting the trees, music low, thoughts loud. My phone buzzed the whole way, her friends texting. What are you doing? She's really upset. You're being unreasonable. Her mom called twice. I ignored it all, checked into the cabin around noon. Small place. 1 bedroom, cozy, just like I planned, perfect for 2. Weird being there alone. But also peaceful, no pressure, no comparisons, no side-eye at my choices. I texted her once, made it safely, have a good New Year's. She replied instantly, we need to talk about this. I didn't answer, put my phone on silent, went hiking. Cold air, sharp, clean, sky so clear I could see the ridge line for miles, trail empty, footsteps crunching in the snow, exactly what I needed. Update 2 that evening. Her mom called 5 times. I let it go to voicemail. 6th time I answered. Hello. Is he there with you? She asked. No, I'm alone. You left her. I didn't leave her. I left for the trip, alone. She's devastated. She says you're throwing away your future over a few words. I exhaled. She said those words mattered. I'm showing her mine do too. She didn't mean it like that. Then she should have said something else. You're hurting her. I'm not the one who made her feel like this trip wasn't enough. She did that to herself. Silence. Then quiet. She's been comparing herself for years to her friends, to influencers, to anyone with a better photo. I know. And you still planned this for her. I did because I thought she'd want to be seen, not just seen with. Another pause. She's scared, that she's not enough, that she's falling behind. That's not my job to fix, not like this. I hung up, went outside, sat in the hot tub, stars above, steam rising, silence everywhere, no phone, no noise, no one watching. At 11:58 p.m. I poured a glass of sparkling cider, the cheap kind, raised it to no one, Happy New Year, and for the first time in a long time, I meant it. What's going on? She's hysterical, that's what people kept saying, like her pain was something dramatic, something performative, something less than real. But I wasn't seeing drama. I was seeing a breakdown, one I'd helped cause, one I wasn't sure I wanted to fix. I told her I needed space, not because I didn't love her, but because I didn't recognize us anymore. It started with the trip. I planned it for months, a week in the mountains, quiet cabin, no cell service, just hiking, books, firelight. I thought it was romantic, thought she'd love it, thought we'd love it. She hated it, not because of the place, not because of the weather, but because her friends were going to Bali, and she didn't want to come back to Instagram silence while they posted sunsets on yachts. She said the word embarrassing. Not about the cabin, not about the food, not about me, but about us. Our relationship, our plans, our life, embarrassing, and she wasn't yelling, she wasn't screaming, she said it quietly, like it was obvious, like it was fact, like we were a joke. I didn't react right away. I just stared, my chest tightened, not angry, not yet, just hollow. Then the anger came, cold, quiet, because it wasn't about the trip, it was about the pattern. The way she'd cancel plans last minute, because someone else was doing something cooler. The way she'd post pictures of me without asking just to get likes. The way she'd measure our anniversaries by how many people commented, not by how we felt. And now this. She compared our love to other people's highlight reels and found it lacking. Her mom called me later, said she was emotional, said she didn't mean it. I said I know she didn't mean to hurt me, but she still did. And I wasn't throwing away our engagement. I was asking myself, is this the life I want? Because love shouldn't feel like a competition. Love shouldn't need an audience. But what I didn't know then, what I couldn't see, was that she was just as lost as I was. I went to the cabin anyway, alone, packed the car like we were both going. Like she'd changed her mind at the last second and jumped in with a suitcase and a smile. She didn't. So I drove 6 hours with 2 seatbelts buckled, made dinner. Simple pasta. Ate on the deck, mountains in front of me, silence behind me. My phone stayed quiet, no buzzing, no pings, no missed you. At 10 p.m. she texted, "Can we video call?" I typed back, "Not ready yet." Then, "I'm sorry." I stared at that message. Is that what I wanted to hear? Not really. I wanted her to say she understood why it hurt. Instead, she just wanted forgiveness. So I asked, "Is that what you want to hear? I want you to mean it." She replied, "I am sorry I said it. I was being bratty and stupid. I know you worked hard on this." And I said, "Okay." Then again, "Okay, that's all." She said, "What do you want me to say? That you forgive me? That we can fix this?" I said, "I might forgive you. I don't know about fixing things yet." She said, "So you're just going to punish me?" And I said, "I'm not punishing you. I'm protecting myself. There's a difference." She didn't reply after that. Midnight came. I watched fireworks explode in the distance. Someone else's celebration, someone else's joy. Toasted myself with the champagne I'd ordered for 2. Drank alone, laughed once. Not because it was funny, because it was absurd. Weirdest New Year's of my life. January 1st. Woke up to 17 messages, not all apologies, some angry, "You're overreacting," some confused, "I don't even know what I did wrong," some pleading, "Please talk to me." I read them all, didn't respond. Went hiking. 6 miles round trip, steep, brutal, exactly what I needed. Came back to the cabin around 2 p.m. Voicemail from her dad. That surprised me. We'd always been polite, friendly at holidays, but never close, never call me if she screws up close. I called him back. "Hey, got your message." "Yeah, listen," he said, "I'm not going to tell you what to do. Man to man, I need you to know something." "What's that?" "My daughter has been spoiled, by her mother, by me, by life. She's used to things going her way. This is the first time someone set a real boundary with her." Pause. I'm not excusing what she said. But I've seen her the past day. She's not upset because she's not getting her way. She's upset because she hurt you. That's growth for her. I didn't know what to say, so I said, "I appreciate you telling me that." He said, "Take your time, do what's right for you, but know this, whether you come back or not." She needed this wake-up call. Then quiet, "And that trip you planned sounds perfect. My wife and I would love something like that. Your fiancé's an idiot for not seeing it." I smiled. Actually smiled. "Thanks," I said, hung up feeling different, not fixed, not ready, but less angry. Spent the evening in the hot tub, stars above, wine in hand, thought about his words, growth, wake-up call, boundaries. My phone rang at 11 p.m. I almost didn't answer, but I did. "Hi," her voice was small, quiet, not performative, not defensive. "Hi, I'm not going to beg you to come back. I'm not going to tell you you're wrong. I just need to say something. I'm listening. I've been horrible. Not just about the trip. About a lot of things, comparing our lives to other people's, caring more about how things look than how they feel. You deserved better than that." "Yeah, I did. I don't know if I can be better," she said, "but I want to try, not to win you back. I might have already lost you, but because my dad made me realize I've been a selfish person. And I don't want to be that anymore. Your dad called me, I know. He told me after, said he gave you perspective." "He did. I'm not going to ask if we're okay. We're obviously not, but can I ask if there's a possibility we could work toward okay?" I thought about it, long maybe, but things have to change. How you value experiences over appearances. How you talk to me, how you see our relationship. I know I'm willing to work on that. We'll see. That's not a no, it's not a yes either. I'll take it. Came home January 2nd. She was at work. Apartment cleaner than I'd ever seen it. Not just tidy, clean. Like she'd scrubbed more than surfaces. Note on the counter: "Thank you for the time to think. I've been thinking too. Can we talk when I get home?" I unpacked, did laundry, waited. She got home at 6, looked nervous, didn't reach for a hug, didn't try to kiss me, just stood in the doorway. "How was the rest of the trip?" "Peaceful, exactly what I needed." "Good, I'm glad you went." "Me too." She sat on the couch. I sat in the chair across from her. Distance between us. Deliberate, necessary. "I talked to my therapist," she said. "You have a therapist?" "Just started yesterday. Emergency session. I need to work through why I compare our life to everyone else's. Where that comes from." "Yeah, that's good. I think that's really good." I also called my friends, told them I was wrong, that I disrespected you, our plans, how'd they react, mixed. Some said I wasn't wrong, that you were being controlling, that I deserved better. And those friends and I are taking a break. Not because of you, because of me. Because I realize they bring out the worst in me. The comparison thing, the keeping up thing, it's toxic." I nodded. "That's a big step. Your ring is still on the counter. I didn't feel right wearing mine if you weren't wearing yours. I appreciate that. I'm not going to ask you to put it back on. I'm just saying, I'm waiting, however long it takes. It's been 2 months. We're still together, but different. She's in therapy every week. I started too. Turns out I've got my own stuff. Feeling unappreciated, resenting small things, building walls instead of talking. We're both learning. We're not wearing our rings yet, decided together we'll put them back on when we both feel like the relationship has changed enough to deserve them." She's changed, still has bad days, still catches herself scrolling, comparing, craving validation. But now she stops. Now she says, "I'm doing it again, I'm sorry. Let me tell you why." That's the biggest thing. She talks about it, doesn't just do it. "Last month I took her back to the mountains. Same cabin, same plans, different energy." She cried when she saw it, not because it was ugly, because she couldn't believe she'd called it embarrassing. Because now she saw what I'd seen all along. Quiet, peaceful, hours. She said, "It's perfect." And for the first time in a long time I believed her. We're rebuilding, slowly, carefully, with words instead of silence, with honesty instead of performance, with presence instead of proof. Last thing I saw before I turned off the light that night. Her hand resting on the blanket, no ring, but her fingers slowly, gently lacing through mine. Still there, still trying, still ours. Some days feel normal. Some days it's like we're strangers again, tiptoeing around each other, learning how to speak the same language. But we're trying, that's the thing, we're both still here. Her friends reached out, one by one, apologized, not in a group text or some performative way, privately. Honestly. They said they'd been feeding into her worst instincts, that they'd encouraged the comparisons, the jokes about money, the eye rolls when I suggested something simple. They admitted it, and then they said something that caught me off guard. "We're impressed you set boundaries. Most people wouldn't have." I didn't know what to do with that. I wasn't trying to impress anyone. I just couldn't keep pretending I didn't feel the way I did. My friends, mixed bag, some said I should have left for good. "You don't come back from that kind of disrespect," one told me. Another said I overreacted. It was just a vacation. Why make it a deal? But most just looked at me and said, "You did what felt right for you. That's all you can do." And maybe that's enough. The suitcase, the ring, people ask if it was staged, if I meant it as a message. Maybe it was, maybe I did, but not in the way they think. It wasn't dramatic, it was honest. At that moment, I didn't know if I wanted to marry someone who saw our relationship as less than. Less than her friends' lives, less than their trips, less than their Instagram stories. Putting the ring on top of the suitcase wasn't a threat, it was a mirror. It forced us both to see what we'd been ignoring. She saw the suitcase. Of course she did, but the ring, she walked past it twice. Didn't even notice. By the time she did, I was already gone. And that's not symbolism, that's just true. She was so focused on the big picture. The perfect photo, the flawless story, the version of love that looked good on a screen, that she missed the small things. The ring, the months of planning, the thought, the effort, me. Whether we make it or not, I know this now. I'm not willing to be with someone who's embarrassed by what I can give. Not willing to live in a relationship where I'm constantly measuring myself against someone else's highlight reel. Where thoughtfulness loses to flashiness. Where love is a competition I didn't sign up for. She learned something too, that the person posting the most impressive vacation photos might be the most insecure. That comparison doesn't just steal joy, it kills it. And that real love, it's not about matching someone else's standards, it's about building your own. So we're doing that now. Building, slowly, carefully. We're taking our time, talking when things feel off. Not waiting for resentment to pile up. Appreciating what we have instead of fixating on what we don't. The mountain cabin, it's booked again, next month. This time she found one, slightly nicer, paid for it herself. Told me it's her way of showing she values what matters. I told her the original cabin was perfect, that we didn't need an upgrade. She said she knows, but she wants to prove something to herself, so I'm letting her. Maybe we'll make it, maybe we won't. But at least now we're both being honest about what we want. What we need, what we're willing to work for. That New Year's trip going alone taught me I can be okay by myself, that I don't have to stay in a relationship where I'm treated like a backup plan, that my value isn't determined by someone else's attention. She learned that taking people for granted has consequences, that boundaries aren't threats, they're real, and that not everyone will wait around while you figure out what you want. Now, we're figuring it out together, not fast, not perfectly. But honestly, the ring is still on the counter, not hidden, not put away, just there, both of them, waiting. Some people asked if the ring moment was manipulative. Maybe it was. I won't pretend I didn't know what I was doing, but I wasn't trying to make her feel guilty. I wasn't trying to trap her into a reaction. I was just being honest. That was where I was emotionally, mentally. I wasn't engaged. I was reconsidering everything. Putting the ring there. It wasn't a performance. It was a physical version of an internal truth, like leaving a light on in a dark room so we could both see. And yes, her dad is great. He called me, not to defend her, not to pressure me, but to say he understood, that he saw what had happened, that he knew his daughter had been blind to things she shouldn't have been. He didn't excuse her behavior, but he gave me context. And sometimes that's all you need. Sometimes knowing someone's actually learning. Not just apologizing, not just saying the right words, but actually changing. That makes a difference. It doesn't fix everything, but it helps. It helps. Ever dealt with toxic family? Comment and subscribe.